So, good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Welcome back to Cannon for the TV. It's Friday. Friday usually means it is crackerjack. No, it is the easy talk. It's the easy talk. That's what it is. We've got somebody making their debut, kind of, but this person is familiar on the platform and this person features on another segment. So it's a bit of a strange one, actually. And we've also got the cheeky chap. We're waiting for somebody else to kind of jump in on this screen here on the Easy Talk. But before we get into this one, we're going to get into the nooks and cranny on the other side of this music intro. I'm just limbering up with his old bones.
Let's go for the punches.
Let's go for the punches. Somebody's going to be singing Tragedy.
Jurgen Klopp. Oh my God. Sorry.
It's okay. All right, so there we go. We are here on the Easy Talk Friday, and I think it might be a bit tetchy. If it's not, I'll make it tetchy. I will. I'll try my best. But yeah, we've got somebody making their debut, kind of debut. But before I get to that person, good evening to you, Lee. How are you, Lee? Bottom left.
Good evening, Alex. Can you hear me okay?
We can hear you loud and clear.
Cool.
How are you?
I'm very well. I just tried. I was having a few technical problems. I just forwarded your link to my Mac, and it for some reason won't fire up. But anyway, I'm here now. I'm very good, mate. Very good. Working
Good.
week's over, so yeah, happy.
Tell me about it. Tell me about it. Well, welcome back. Welcome back.
Cheers.
Cheeky Chappy Alfie. And you're on mute.
Hello. Good to be back. Sorry, I'm trying to do so many things. I'm just trying to finish something from work, but I'm focused now.
Okay, multitask. Men don't multitask. Women
No,
do.
not.
We
no,
have to.
we try.
Nowadays.
You know, I've got 4 men in the house. I know that one very well.
So, Seema, I know you feature a lot more on the Tuesday night show, but it was a Thursday night show. But welcome for the first time on the East Talk. Welcome, Seema.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. And hi, guys.
That's
Oh,
okay.
yeah.
That's right.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
I thought, this is not part of the segments. Within the last few hours, at least, actually, the breaking news was sent to me by my sister, who is also an Arsenal fan. And Jurgen Klopp has decided to call it quits at the end of the season. Tragedy.
Yep.
Lee, your thoughts? Are you surprised, or do you think he probably would have gone on a little bit longer, Lee? Oh, we can't hear you.
Reasons.
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
there
right.
you go.
Okay.
That's
Hear me
better.
now.
Yeah,
Cool.
go for it, Lee.
Yeah, it come out of the blue. So in terms of it just coming out from nowhere, I was surprised. But when you stop and you think about it for 30 seconds, if you're in that kind of job and people go, a job, what, running a football team? But all the managers say the same thing. It's so demanding. It's 24/7. You don't get a break, and there's the expectations of the fans, the media, the press. I would imagine it's pretty full on. And if you've got 40 million in the bank that Jurgen's probably got, maybe there's a point in his life where he's 56. He's thinking, you know what, I want to smell the roses and sit on a sunbed and drink a pina colada and get out of bed late and not have to organise training and deal with the press and deal with all the expectations. So when you think about it, initially surprised, but when you think about it, doesn't surprise me at all. You might want to break a year and a half, and then come back nice and fresh. He doesn't have to do it. So yeah. So that was my fault. But in some ways, it's sad to lose him because he's a character. He's a bit of a whinger, has to be said. He doesn't mind a whinge up. Same as Pep. They want 28 different substitutes, and they never want to play on that date or this date, and don't want more into. And they kind of don't. They're not really keen on. They always moan about the English game, don't they? Fixtures, but that's standard. But yeah, in some ways,
The 12:30 fixture?
The 12:30 fixture, and yeah, the 5 subs always done me. I'm like, well, you got more City. Pep complain. You've got the most expensive squad ever, right?
Yeah.
You've got players that are treated like racehorses, and they get the best diet. They don't go out boozing like they did 30 years ago. like the Arsenal, the Tuesday Club, and they look after the proper athletes,
Yeah.
and yet they need five. They need to change half the team. The ability to have five changes, it just seems it's crazy for me. And obviously that I'm straying into a different subject, but that's a bit of an advantage for the super clubs, isn't it? Man City can put on 5 world-class players, probably.
Yeah. Seema, what I've been hearing over the last few hours, Arteta out, Jurgen Klopp in.
Huh?
What?
I'm just saying.
Where's that level of play there? Like, Liverpool play totally different to how we play. What do you want to do? Let's just switch everything. I mean, I mean, who are these people? Are they actually the Arsenal fans saying it? No way. I mean, I had that conversation with my brothers actually at the weekend, and they were saying, "Oh, look at what your Arteta's done. You know, where's he now? What's he doing?" I'm like, "Oh, okay. Well, I've got the last laugh today because where's Jurgen Klopp going?"
Tragedy. Anyway,
tragedy.
He's going to a beach. He's going to a beach.
Yeah.
Yep.
Alfie.
It's complicated because that's maybe extra motivation, no? I think they want to give him like a nice farewell. So I think they will be focused on winning the
him
league
something.
year.
Yeah.
Yes, before he leaves. It's good news for the future, but not good news right now, I would believe.
Yeah. I completely agree with you. Completely agree.
Yeah.
So that's out of the way. No more Liverpool news.
Yeah.
On with Arsenal news.
Mm-hmm.
No new signings.
No.
No Ivan Toney. No Karim Benzema. No Amadou Onana. Nothing. Nada. Seema, what's going on? Are you worried?
No, actually, I'm not. I'm not sure why everyone needs to be. But imagine back in the day, if we didn't have halfway through the season where we can, the window opens and we can get new players in. What would we do then? We'd use the ones that we've got.
Yeah.
So why not? Why are we not using it? Actually, why not? Why are we not bringing in? What I'd like to see is the academy boys being brought in, because they're doing well. They're actually playing tonight, by the way, the under-21s. But why are we not using them? Bring them on. I know, I look at the scenario and he's having them on the bench. They're getting the atmosphere. They're getting the feel of what it's going to be like to be on that pitch. But bring them on now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
the
Highland boys have done well. Bring these boys on. Bring on, Cozier, and bring on, oh my gosh. Now the names have all gone out of my head, but we know who we're talking about. The top 6 that went with them to Dubai. They're training with the big boys. Let them play with the big boys now. Let them become big boys.
Yeah. Give them a chance.
Seema, let me push you on this point, all right? So, transfer window, January, we know literally historically, January is a little bit difficult to buy in players, but it's obvious. You can see we need a striker. Somebody who can put the ball in the net. Why not go hard and fast for an Ivan Toney? Why not?
But why not utilize? Why can't we utilize what we've got? And if the striker's not putting it in the back of the net, use the wingers on the side. Use the others that step forward. Use them, and your game plan has to change. That's what everybody does.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, actually, you can't. The way things are going. Look at this last transfer window. No one's spending any money. The reason no one's spending any money is you go out and buy an Ivan Toney and spend 85 million. You're going to hamstring yourself for maybe a season or two, but suddenly you're boxed in. You've got nowhere to move, right? Yeah. So I think Seema makes a good point. You've got to reuse the resources that you've got. If not, you shift people out and create the headroom for the money, bring other people in. But I just don't think it's going to be as easy as Chelsea are going to find, because they've got no wriggle room. So we should use our players more. I mean, the bottom line is, Seema, and I've got a feeling you'll agree, the managers don't trust them. Arteta doesn't even trust Emile Smith Rowe. And people keep saying to me, when he's coming back from injury, we'll come on to that. So we'll park that for now. But you have to trust youth. 2021, 19, it's old enough. Get them on the pitch.
Well, they've got fire in them. They've got the fire, not the. I mean, I've been a great advocate for Kai, giving him the benefit of the doubt. You know,
Yeah,
let him
I
settle
haven't.
in, let him become the
Yeah.
let him become the Arsenal player, not the
Yeah.
Chelsea. You know, we're not bringing
Yeah,
Chelsea into this.
Give him
We want
time.
him to be the Arsenal. Yeah, give him that time. But now he's had a lot of time.
Yes.
So
Yes.
let the ones who've got the fire in the belly, Emile Smith Rowe, bring him in.
Swap it
Yeah,
up.
Nothing's going to change,
swap it
Seema.
up.
Nothing's going to change because
It will. I reckon it will.
you think so. No,
I think
no.
so. I think so.
I think Arteta has to justify spending
It's
65
65
million.
million. Yeah, he does. He does. I
No.
want Seema to be right, and I want him. I just can't see the manager sitting down and going, "Yeah, I'll put Kai on the bench the next 3 games. I'm going to put Emile in and change it." I just can't see it. I wish I could. I hope I'm wrong, Seema. Right?
Well, no, yeah, hopefully, you know, but I'm not the manager, am I? So, you know, I mean, I give him a bit of
You might
advice.
be
That's not a
right.
problem. But I mean, even if he brings kind at halfway and then changes them over
Yeah.
at half time,
Yeah,
you
that'd
know,
be fair.
we've had that switch. He can see what's going on.
Yeah.
And the fans are going to be happy because they love Smith Rowe. The minute he
Of course
came
they do.
on, everybody was chanting his name.
Yeah.
You know, we
Yeah.
don't even sing Kai's name unless he scores.
No, we don't.
So,
Yeah. No, I agree.
Alpha, your thoughts? Are you worried that there's not been that, but actually no activity? A lot of speculation, a lot of rumors, but nothing. Nah.
Yes, I'm worried because what we have is Eddie Nketiah, and he hasn't been good
sorry, I'm
enough.
not a big fan.
Yeah, no one is.
No.
So
Could have told him
I
a year
don't know,
ago.
maybe he's fun. No, it's true. I think we need someone. The thing is nowadays, it's complicated because everything is about money. It's not that you can just bring the under 21s, because we are trying to achieve something that we haven't done in, I don't know, 20 something years now, 20 years almost.
19, 20.
So I think that's what we're waiting for. We just want to win the league so we can take that weight out of our shoulders and then start again. So if we can just get someone to score the goals, that would be great. I don't think we will be, at least not in this window. Maybe Osimhen, he said that his future is sorted, but it's not us, definitely not.
Nothing is sorted.
So it's a complicated situation, but I agree with Seema. I think we should start like I don't know, experimenting a bit. Maybe put Martinelli up front with Trossard on the side. If we have 2 very good players on the wing, we can start maybe moving them around, because we need to find a solution. And I think, as I was saying before, in other programs, it's like teams are learning how we are playing at the moment, so they're better prepared. And I think that's why we're not scoring as much as last season. So we need to change the tactics, and that's up to the manager as well. And we need different resources. I mean, before we used to have players like, I don't know, Giroud, like they were more like Aria, like that typical number 9 tall. We don't have that anymore. We have Jesus. And I'm not saying that Giroud was amazing or anything, but it was a different alternative. And I think we need to start playing with the players that we have, and we should not be scared of just throwing a under 21 there. But for me, ideally, yes, we should look for someone, even if it's a like a short-term thing. But at the end of the day, we want it. We want to win something. We want the Champions League. We want the Premier League. That's what we need. I feel that as soon as we cross that line, we will become a different Arsenal. But now we just don't see it happening.
Yeah. Here's a question for you before we go into the next segment. So we know that Emile Smith Rowe has been struggling for minutes, and it appears as though there are other protagonists ahead of him. What would you do if you were Emile Smith? Would you stay and fight for your place, or would you say, actually, you know what, maybe my fortune lies in another club, Seema?
That's probably what's going to happen, actually, come summertime. You know, he's fighting for it to see where he can go. When, you know, if he can get in, even if he gets in, for 30 minutes, it's better than nothing. But eventually, you know, every player is going to just say, you know what, I'm not with the team just to sit on the bench. I mean, we don't want that, because he is a Hale End, boy. So,
Mm.
you know, we want him on that field. And him and Saka used to play so well. And you imagine if you had him, Saka, Martinelli on, you know, and then Nielsen somewhere in there, because they run, they've got fire. So, I mean, yeah, I mean, I don't want to think about it, put it that way,
Yeah.
but it's
Yeah.
it's an eventuality.
Yeah. And
Oh,
for
by
you,
the way,
Lee,
yeah.
Zach, sorry, Sima, yeah.
I was just going to say, by the way, it's 1-1. Ethan Inweri scored
Oh, okay.
and the under-21s. See, look, there's an under-21 there.
See, breaking news.
Yeah, breaking news.
Lee, you're Emile Smith Rowe. Do you stay and fight for your position that maybe you're never going to get, or do you call it quits? You're on mute,
Mike.
Lee. Oh,
That's it.
no. Yeah. No. All right. Okay.
Technical problems.
For you, Alfie, stay or go if you're Emile Smith Rowe.
It's a difficult one because I think he also has been injured. So is the two things. He's not preferred, but also he has, you know, problems in regards of injury. Havertz, I mean, Arteta is tied to those 65 million, and he doesn't need to, but he wants to make a point saying, I brought him and he's going to play and he's going to be good. For me, he's not good enough. I would rather have Smith Rowe 100%. But Arteta is a stubborn one. You can see it with the keepers. You can see it with certain decisions. You can see it with Zinchenko. Sometimes it's not the best decision. But as I said it before, also, if at the end of the day he wins it, we have to give him the right. But if he doesn't, he has to be accountable for those decisions. About Smith Rowe, I mean, I would love him to stay and fight, but you have to put yourself in that position as well. He's a young player. He needs, you know, the minutes. And I think he has so much potential. So, and I don't think he wants to go on loan. I wouldn't like to be on loan on that situation because it will it just look bad on you. It look bad on your progress.
Yeah.
So sad, but I think he will go.
I think so as well. Lee, are you back with us?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Can you hear me
there
now?
we go.
Oh,
There we
God,
go.
not sure what happened there. Sorry about it, guys. Yeah, I mean, I would, if I was Smith Rowe, I think by now, but I probably would have thrown my toys out of the pram because I just think, especially with the coming on with 2 minutes to go, I would by now. It's one thing being a good pro, and you have to be a good pro, right? You can't act like a child, but being continually asked to come on with 2 minutes to go is just a joke, quite frankly. And as we said, he's persevering with Kai, but you got to get to a point where you got to lose the ego and say it's kind of as we mentioned earlier, that you don't have to drop Kai completely. You put him on at half time, or you bring him on with 30 minutes to go and start. I mean, I play football at half decent level, right? And let me tell you, coming on as a sub in a game, as anyone will tell you, it's the hardest thing ever. Because trying to get up to, especially when you've been out injured for a while, it is 5 times as hard, right? But to start a game, right, you've got 10, 15 minutes to get into the pace of the game and get up to speed and get your confidence. Coming on as a substitute, you're expecting miracles, and there's not many players over the years. I'm thinking Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, kind of ilk can come on and affect a game. It's really difficult, right? Especially with an injury. And the other thing about Emile, he's a different type of player. He's, as I think Seema said, he's more direct, he's more dynamic. And signs of it the other week when he came on, he just gets the ball and he just goes direct, he goes forward, and he's a very different type of player, like a give and go. And he was excellent 2 years ago. So for me, to answer your question, I wouldn't go on loan as Alfie. I agree with Alfie. No way. I'd be saying to Arteta, look, unless I get serious game time, then I'm gone in the summer because he's too good. You know, he's not 18.
Yeah.
He was in our team 4 years ago, right? Pulling up trees. It's getting ridiculous. And as I say, he should be getting 20 minutes. I mean, he got 20, 25 minutes, didn't he? Was it Liverpool? which is fair enough. But it's so many games he's come on with 2-3 minutes, and it's just I just find it infuriating. It's just made me mad, to be honest. I'm like, for God's sake, I think I would have just thrown my tracksuit on the floor and say, no, I'm not coming on. Are you joking?
Yeah.
Lee, is he not more attuned to playing abroad? Because his touch, he's technically gifted. So would he not be better off playing in another European league, maybe Spain or Italy? Oh, your mic's gone again. All right, okay. Whilst Lee's sorting his mic out, Seema, your thoughts? Would he not be better suited to go abroad if he does leave Arsenal?
Yeah, I mean, I think it would suit him, and he'd probably get a lot more playtime. You know, he'd be on there full match, as opposed to just 2 minutes. Yeah, I mean, it would suit him. I mean, he had kind of exposure, didn't he, when he was in the Euros with the under-21s? So he had that. So he could have easily have gone, but he's chosen to stay at Arsenal and do his rehabilitation, get back and try and get back into the first team. Obviously, we don't know what the inside news is, what is going on in there, in Arteta's head, or is there any clauses in Kai's contract that states he's got to be, on that field, all the time throughout the game, or he has to play X amount of games, and hey, what if he gets an injury by mistake? Who will go on then?
Yeah, goodness.
This is Kai I'm talking about.
Yeah, well, the thing is, Seema, I'm thinking, well, Fabio Vieira's out injured. I'm thinking if he wasn't injured, I'm absolutely sure that he'll be ahead of Emile Smith Rowe.
Yeah, but the thing is, but when you look at the difference when Vieira was coming on, okay, when he was fit, Vieira was still making errors.
Yeah.
And he wasn't backtracking as much. I mean, Smith Rowe, okay, a couple of games he's been on, but he's backtracked when he's made an error. Kai doesn't even think about it. He'll just go, okay, you go for it. That sort of stuff. He's laughing. He does, doesn't he? So, and the thing is, when I'm watching the game live, I'm sitting there going, what on earth are we paid 65 million for? When you're
so slow.
He puts his hands up like this. The cameras don't catch that kind of thing, And I'm sitting there going, oh my word. I wonder if everybody sees this at home. They wouldn't be Kai's, best friend or whatever.
Yeah.
But that's the difference between Vieira. Vieira's fast too. Don't get me wrong. He is quick, but he's made the errors.
Yeah. So, Alfred, do you want to say something before we go into
I just think that I completely agree with Seema. I think and with you as well. If Vieira was fit, he wouldn't even be on the bench, sadly. And if we had everyone like Elneny Partey, he wouldn't be on the bench. But it's sad because he's very, very talented. I'm not a fan of Fabio Vieira as well. I think he's rough. Like the talent is there, but still needs time. But we will see. I really don't understand the Havertz situation.
65 million reasons. Anyway, Lee, you're back with us.
Yeah, with the headphones. Hopefully you can hear me now. I've been.
We can hear you.
I'm not quite sure what's wrong with them, but you asked me if he could play. Yeah, he could definitely play abroad because you say he's got everything you need. He's got the touch. He's got the technical ability. He drives forward. He's not super quick, but he's got that burst of pace. He definitely could play, but then if I was him, I know I'd still want to be able to play in the Premier League, right? And I think as Seema says, he loves Arsenal. He's part of Hayland. He doesn't want to go. You can see how it must be really hurting him, like sitting on the bench. So he definitely could play abroad. I'm just hoping he gets the chance. And then when I say get the chance, he's not started. He started at Brentford, didn't he, in the FA Cup, maybe one other game, but he needs to run. Kai needs to sit on the bench for 2 or 3 games. Smith Rowe needs to be in the team, right, to see what he can do, because it's very difficult. What do we expect him to come on with 20 minutes to go? Ideally someone would change the game, but it's, as I said before, it's really difficult. He needs to start for 2 or 3 games, and Kai needs a rest, and the manager needs to get past his ego. If that's why he's put, persevere. I mean, Kai's not been. He's had a few decent games, but I think he's been an overall disappointment for me. There's games that have happened. I'm not even sure he was playing, to be honest. And I know he's an option, but time to sit on the bench. It's not fair. You can't keep. You're playing football and you're seeing a player constantly getting picked, and they must be going, "Well, what's he doing? He's not ripping it up. Why is he getting in every week in front of me?" And that's what I'd be saying if I was Smith, and I wouldn't be surprised if he said it as well.
You can also see it on the Smith Rowe's body language. He looks like not again.
Yeah.
That's exactly what he needs. That little run, 2-3 games that he can get his confidence up for sure.
Yeah. All right. Before I go into the live chat, I did say it's going to be a little bit touchy. I do have a question about the process, Seema. Is there going to be an expiration date for the process? Do we have to draw a line if Arsenal do not win the Premier League this season? If Arsenal do not win the Champions League this season, do we have to draw the line at some point for this process? Because I know there's been some speculation about Arteta's going to be offered another contract extension, but do we have to draw the line at some point for this process, Seema?
I don't think Arsenal is not that kind of club. We don't outside managers, apart from when we had a little bit of wobble with Unai Emery, but we brought in the ex-Arsenal player as a,
Lundberg.
and Lundberg, and no, I don't think we're that kind of club. But I see what the fans, they want the results. But the fans, even though we actually technically we take the club forward, it's the boardroom that does it all, and they see what is called the business plan, and that's Arteta's business plan, not ours. It's the club. It's taking the club forward. It's his plan. So, we can all say it. We want that expiration date, and he's got to go if he doesn't win anything this season. But this is our first season in the Champions League after 7 years. So we've got to give that chance. And he's building a new team. So again, what's going to happen? I don't want to bring them into it, but Liverpool, Klopp's going to go. The new manager's going to come in. Is he going to be able to build that team? He might not click with some of the players. Then what? So it's the process. And the process isn't, a season. It's more than a season.
But he's had 4 seasons.
He's had 4, yeah.
Yeah, but again, he had those players that weren't his players, were they? Who basically thought they were bigger than the club and they could control the club.
Yeah, he's moved them out, which is done well there, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's go into the live chat. So we've got one of our moderators, Colin. He says, "Let's go, Alex! Smash that like button, slackers. Alex needs some Friday live from the Cannon for the family. Thank you for that, Colin. If you're watching on playback, hit that like button. Okay, we get the idea. And then says, if Arteta would go bald, I reckon Arsenal might win. What's that got to do with anything?
What's that got to do with it?
Yeah.
Who's bald, by the way? Who are they comparing it to?
I don't know.
Is it Postecoglou? Is he?
Maybe. Alfie, is that one of your friends, Andreas?
Yes. And he's comparing Arteta to Zidane. That's the issue.
Right. Okay.
Zinedine Zidane.
Okay. All right. Colin says, sign him up. He's talking about Jurgen Klopp. I told you. Xabi Alonso to Liverpool would be scary for the rest of the Premier League.
I think so, and I agree with that. Yeah,
he's doing so well, isn't he?
He's been a manager 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Exactly. So Arteta.
Well, that's an argument against Arteta, really.
Yeah, but the thing is, he got Mönchengladbach, and I think this year they're gonna stop Bayern. And they have Xhaka. He could do with Xhaka what no one could do in 10 years. So.
Yeah. Okay. Point taken.
Oh, I love Xhaka. Don't do that.
Johnny Gator is in the live chat. He says, some top Gooners on tonight. Well, he's not talking about me. He says, no mail to Getafe. What's a few more? Arsenal needs Ceballos? Really?
What? Left field.
Okay, he's just trolling that.
All right.
Yeah.
Miles. So you buy Havertz.
Yeah.
I wouldn't buy Havertz. I don't
No.
think at that point there was a need to buy.
No.
Yeah.
No. Strangest. I've supported Arsenal 45 years. That's the strangest signing in 45 years. Totally from the left field, right?
Yeah.
He doesn't. Chelsea supporters will tell you he doesn't score goals. Yeah, he's got no kind of. He's not cool in front of goal. He's not really a midfielder. I don't know what he is. Don't get it. People saying about replay. I would have moved heaven and earth. We waited years for Xhaka to hit form. He was brilliant last year, right? Sitting back, going forward, scoring. He was excellent, and we sold him. We don't know. Us fans don't know the full story, but I would have moved heaven and earth. It felt to me like maybe Arteta thought, well, I've got Havertz, so I'm going to have to let Xhaka go. If that's the thinking, that's for me. Having watched Havertz for 2 years at Chelsea do nothing, that's flawed thinking.
Yeah.
Flawed
Well,
thinking.
it's actually bad business.
And bad
It's
business.
a bad.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a bad business move that he made.
Signing altogether. It's not a good idea.
Yeah, good point, Seaman. Not just football, but 65 million. I mean, Chelsea.
Yeah.
I mean, I listen to Talk Sport. We do talk some nonsense. That's sometimes they actually sense. And Andy Jacobs, God, he's about 75. He's a Chelsea season ticket holder. He was like, I can't believe Arsenal have paid 65 million for Kai Havertz. They couldn't believe their luck. Now, I'm hoping your support. We get behind the players. I'm not hopefully being overcritical, trying to be bad. He seems a guy, a good lad. Obviously, he's a talented footballer, but how long do we wait? We're into January. Alex, me and you have had this conversation. I kept hearing you chat to people on Twitter and they say, "Oh, but he runs into space. He makes good runs, and he kind of what else does he do? He makes good runs off the ball. He's always available." Well, I've never had a football manager say to me, "Lee, you were brilliant today. You made good runs." If you pay 65 million, you got to be tearing up trees, not making good runs.
Yeah.
But you talk about Chelsea must be thinking, wow, £65 million.
Yeah.
I think he's probably thinking they paid £65 million for me.
I know exactly. He wasn't finished. He was on fire, was he, Havertz? I mean,
and he's what, 24? He's 24? Exactly. 24. Yeah. I mean,
it's odd. It's odd.
Yeah.
It really
we
is.
We could have bought 2 strikers from a lower team and done better.
Yeah, and made and see
exactly. Seema.
Point about the business team and made money on it. We could have invested 35 million on 2 young strikers who could be worth 90 million now. But what do we know?
Anyway, just a few more in the live chat. Again, Andrea says Saka needs to step up. He's not the player to make the difference. Sadly enough. Is he right, Andrea? Seema? Oh?
No, I don't think so. I think Saka has had it tough in the first few games of the season. You know, people were really going for him because, you know, he's our star boy. And then that's knocked his confidence. And that confidence has put him back a bit, not a lot, you know. But in the last 2 games, I don't know if you guys noticed that there wasn't 2 defenders on him all the time, or 3 of them, you know, because they're now playing the ball across the pitch, you know, so trying to fool, you know, the defenders that where the ball's going to go. Whereas before they knew it's going to go to Saka, it's going to go to Odegaard, but now they're playing this, you know, like triangle, this quad that they're doing, you know, between, you know, them 4. And so, they're looking at that. You can see that. But he's had it tough for a bit. His poor legs. We're lucky he didn't get injured that badly.
Yeah, he gets kicked, doesn't he? Constantly.
Yeah, constantly. So,
Alfie, your friend Andrea says that Saka needs to step up.
Again, just don't. But I mean, I think honestly, his level last season was better. But the team in general, I think the attitude, the goals, it was better last year because we were not under pressure and no one expected anything from us. But now we are the team to look. We had a little batch in there, but I think if we can win a couple of games, we will be back on, you know, at least on the talk of the title. But we need everyone in top at the top of their game. We need Saka at his best. We need Martinelli. I think Martinelli is having a good run. But yeah, we need the best, and Havertz is not the best, so we'll see.
Did he actually go on that break? Did he go on the break? Was he in
Good
Dubai?
question. Good question.
Sorry?
Did
Was he in
Havertz go to
Dubai?
Dubai?
Don't know.
I don't know.
I didn't
Oh,
see
that
much. That's
Dubai
why I
thing
didn't
is
see him.
so silly. Oh, why would we do that? We look like a joke when we do things like that.
I tell you what really annoyed me was the fact that I saw pictures of Martinelli on quad bikes in the desert. What if he'd got injured?
Yeah, surprising, isn't it?
That
Very
was just ludicrous.
Yeah.
But hey ho, they were allowed to have time off. So
Yeah. Actually, we did want to talk about Bukayo Saka, but I titled this Saka the Bionic Boy or Bionic Man. At least, surely, can he not be subbed sometimes?
Well, this is the other thing with us. I'm not, I'm overall. I'm not an Arteta. I'm happy to go with him. He's made us challenge again for all the things that you can pick holes in. We're up there, so if we're up there challenging, I'm happy. Obviously, there's a shelf life to that, but yeah, of course he should be benched. He stays on way too long. I mean, there was I think game in the Champions League last year. I think Lens away the second game when I thought that we could have given Reece a start, and Saka was played again, and then he gets picked for England, and then and Southgate makes him play 88 minutes as well, and I'm like, he's still a pretty young kid. He should be taken out, especially when you got other players on the bench. Arteta just won't take him off. And it's just to the point. Again, if you're Smith Rowe, if you're Reece Nelson, right? You're thinking, well, give me a go. And he's just been overplayed. So I'm not surprised that his form's fallen off. Of course, it's fallen off because he's probably just a little bit mentally weary. It must be tough because I think as Seaman says, he's our go-to man, isn't he? He's like, right, make something happen. And last season he was continually coming up with the answer. And this year they've just gone, right, we'll double up on Martinelli, double up on Saka, we'll kick Odegaard, and they haven't got a striker, so we'd have to worry. So we can have two players, and we're fine. They haven't got no one who's score. So it's and we basically passed the ball a lot slower. We haven't moved it like we did last year. So all in all, we kind of dropped off. But we on the positive side, we beat Liverpool next week. We're right back in the shout again. We just need to go on a little run, don't we?
Well, we've got Forest before that, so
Reece is not a bad option either. I don't think Reece is terrible. I mean, I don't see the reason why we keep Saka all the 90 minutes.
No, Reece was good. Reece was good recently.
I think he's ready as well, and I think it's good that he also gets some minutes so he can get the appreciation and the competition and everything.
Players are like batteries, right? Like car batteries. If the battery's constantly flat sitting on the bench, there's my analogy. If you keep putting them on and starting, eventually the battery gets warmed up and it'll perform better. That's the way I look at it. If you keep coming on cold, you're only going to get a certain level of performance. If you're giving someone a run, whether that's Reece or Smith Rowe.
No, that's Eddie.
Yeah, better performance. Yeah, it's not work with Eddie.
That's Eddie. That's Eddie in a nutshell.
You've blown my argument out of the water.
Sorry,
Eddie's not Premiership for me. I'm looking at him. I'm thinking, how are you a Premiership footballer?
Are you number 14? How dare you wear Thierry Henry?
I know. No.
I think he's a mid-table team.
Sorry, Eddie, if you're listening.
It's true. I feel bad. He's a great guy, but he's just not good enough for Arsenal.
Yeah.
He had his opportunity last season when Jesus was out. He had the perfect opportunity to step up and show himself. Did he take it? No.
Yeah.
But did you not get injured as well after a short run of games?
What?
I think
was there an injury? Really?
I think.
Sorry.
No. Oh, okay. All right. Even
if he was, he still had the opportunities.
Yeah,
he's had a lot more games last season.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. He's definitely had opportunities.
Smith
and Reece will say, well, "Look at Eddie. How comes he gets
exactly?" Yes, and that's what is unfair.
Yeah, that's unfair.
Yeah. Just one thing about the Saka issue. I've heard that he might be carrying an injury, which is why we're not
Soft
seeing
tissue, isn't it?
Yeah,
That's what I've heard.
Tissue
I've
injury,
heard that, Alex. Yeah.
Yeah, shame. Right, let's
Yeah.
continue in the live chat. See some more comments here. Trossard has been absolute fire when started as centre striker. What? There's another player that can't establish himself in the first team. Why?
God knows. God knows. He could play up front, couldn't he? He could play as a striker. Last year, we've got. You don't necessarily need a main man. So if you've got 3 players up front who are all done, you imagine. Just put yourself now. If you're a defender, and you've got Trossard, Jesus, Martinelli, and Saka to worry about. Right? You're all over the place. Jesus, they're not natural scorers, but we got. If you're getting 15, 16 goals each. And Trossard he had an eye for goal, didn't he, at Brighton? And he did it for us. But again, sitting on the bench, the battery will drain and you'll lose your confidence. And that's what's happened to him.
Yeah, he was scoring every weekend before he came to Arsenal. And then we just brought him to the bench. It's true. And he stopped shooting from outside. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. It's still good, though. He has bad games, but quiet games. But you still feel the threat. Like you can feel that he can score any minute. And that's something, for example, that we don't have with Eddie.
He's got maturity in the game.
Yeah.
That goal that he took, how he fooled the defender and to score, that's maturity. One of the younger ones, they would have just sort of maybe got nervous in front of the goal and panicked. Yeah,
good call.
I think it's been the signing of the last 2 seasons.
Yeah,
£25 million, I think.
25. Yeah.
What a player!
Left foot,
right foot, header. Anyway, go on. So John the Geezer says, Lee, Arteta tied his hands up £65 million for Kai. Was he needed that? He needed it badly. Really? We didn't need him. We didn't need him.
No, we didn't.
Now he has to justify the purchase.
It's
not going to work.
Russ Morgan, good evening to you. Again, Andreas is back saying Lee is making some great points. Yeah, that's why he's on the Easy Talk.
Thank you. What a kind man.
Lee, you're on mute. What does it mean?
On mute.
Oh, on mute. On mute. Okay. And Colin says get in Alfie. Mr. Richard Garlick gets the top job straight away. Arteta gets a 4-year contract. Is that right, Seema?
Yeah, why not? Explain why not. Because we're trusting his process, aren't we? We're going with him because he's showing that he's doing things. Okay, fair enough. We haven't won a cup yet, but we're getting there. The team is building. Yes, we're having a few wobbles with we're talking about Havertz, but in the end, the team is pulling together. And I think this Dubai trip really did them well. They did bond. You could see that they were playing so much better, and they were a couple of points. I think they, slowed the game down a bit, but then, realized we need to pick up. I did worry at 3-0. Are they going to slow the game down, not get any more goals? Because you know what, this season is so tight. It's going to go down to goal difference the way it's going.
Yeah.
So they really need to keep that.
Yeah, I think the scare that we have as fans is that we just get top 4. We go back to that, loophole that we were like, okay, we're good, but not good enough. We're not winning anything. We go into the Champions League. We have a good quarterfinal, but that's it. And I think that's what worries us, really.
Yeah.
Just that possibility of not pushing forward. But at the moment, I agree with Seema. That's what we have. We have to support him. And hopefully, the team won't stagnate, because that would be sad.
Yeah. Another comment that I've heard over the course of the last 2 months is that the players are good enough to win the Premier League and maybe make a good charge in the Champions League, but maybe the manager is not good enough to get them over the line, Lee. That's another thing I've heard over the last 2 months.
Yeah, I mean, he's a young manager, right? He's not a lot of experience, if any. He was assistant at City.
Yeah.
So we've I wouldn't say we've got the players to get over the line in the Champions League or the Premier League without. I mean, I really do think we need a striker. I really do, or we need some other kind of threat, whether that's from changing it from the bench. So ultimately, that does come down to Arteta. He buys the players, he picks the team, the buck stops, and I kind of agree with the guys at the moment that we should be behind him. And for me, we are still that's the test. We're still challenging. We're still up there, and we haven't been for a long time. But we've got to remember, ultimately, we are Arsenal, and it's been 20 long years. And Liverpool have come back. The resurgence. Chelsea have only really gone away the last season or two. So we've waited a generation. So my patience is wearing thin. I won't lie. 4 years, I suppose they kind of have to give my business head on. They have to give him 4 years. I'm not sure how long he had left, Alex. Maybe a year or two, but
I think it was like 16 months. I think something 16. Like that.
Yes.
Yeah.
If I'm being if it was my business, I probably would have given 2 years. But maybe Arteta might have had a problem with that. I don't know, but there's only so long you can wait. And I do. Some of our fans, I read some of the comments like he's the second coming. I'm like, we have to sign him up. He's this, he's that. Yeah, he's moved us on, haven't we? He's moved us from top 4 to challenging. It was really exciting last year, but sooner or later, and generally in football, it's sooner. You've got to start producing. You've got to get to the Champions League. You've got to get to the last 2 games in the league. Because if we drop down, I'm just giving this scenario. If we end up just being a top 4 team again, then what? I'd say to this: if we get to the end of the season, we're 4th or 3rd, and then we get to November, December this year, and we're 5th or 6th, then what? Then we have to pay Arteta off, and then it's not looking like good business, is it?
Yeah. Lee, very quickly, what is more important for Arsenal to win? You can only choose one: Premier League or Champions League.
I'm old school, Alex. I'd always say the league, even though we haven't won champ. It's all about the league for me. It always has been. It always will be. Yeah, it'd be nice. The bottom line, it's a cup competition. Porto won the Champions League. They weren't the greatest. It's a cup competition, so it'd be great to win. It'd be amazing. I'll be dancing for weeks, but it's all about the league. So that's the one we need.
Yeah. And for you, Seema?
Don't you think, right, that for them, for the next round of the Champions League, if and when they get through, that'll put fire in their belly, and that will then produce better football and the fight in the league as well. That is.
But I think the fire should always be in their belly.
It should always be there. I get that, but don't forget these are the young ones, and they haven't felt that yet.
Yeah,
see, they got to that last season. It's believing
it's more me rather than fire. I think they've always got the fire. I think it's all the game.
Psychological.
What's the magic dream? I'm sure we'd all agree in life, right? I think I'm fairly confident person, but at times you get your confidence knocked, and you perform at half your level. Confidence is everything in life.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And we have to think how much confidence Arteta gives them as well, because we know that when City is down by 1 or Liverpool are down by 1, in that team talk in the in halftime is gonna be hard. What's gonna happen there. The motivation is going to be there. I don't know if we have that. I don't know if we believe in our manager. I mean, the players believe in the manager to get them through the line. So I think, and I agree that the guys try, but I don't know if he has the expertise needed, because he's a bit green on that aspect, I would think.
But do we not have enough leaders in the team?
That's what a captain's there for.
But for me, the issue is that if Odegaard gets injured tomorrow, we will be 8. So we have the leaders, we have the passion, but I don't know if the management is good enough to cover certain spots and to be able to say we are a big, complete team that we can perform at higher level all the time. So still young. We're too young. I don't see any of the players,
But that's
being aggressive and saying, okay, let's go, we're gonna win this one.
Yeah, but in a business, you bring in motivators to do the job for you. If you can't do it yourself, you bring someone else in. So why is there not someone else stepping in that, dressing room, edging
Yeah.
the boys on?
I don't think we have that player. We
No.
can think about
No,
it.
it doesn't have to be a player. It doesn't have to be a player. It can just be one of your, he can just hire somebody to motivate. And
But
I'm
we
sure they have
60 people
psychologists
around.
there.
Yeah, you're right.
Because we
Because I
don't
think-
know. Does City have that? Liverpool have that? Villa have that? Brighton have that? We don't know that.
Yeah.
But I think it's better if it comes from the manager, because Pep doesn't need anyone to shout at their players.
You don't know that. You're not in their dressing room.
Yeah. Yeah.
He has won a lot.
Yeah.
With
That's
different
probably why he has someone in there. That
Probably.
does that.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Yeah, the other reason he's won the lot generally, right? I've got a cat sitting down there, right? My cat could have won the Champions League with Barcelona with that team, right? My cat could have sat on the bench and won the Champions League. But I've got no doubt he's a good coach. But I always said it, for me, there's probably hundreds of coaches that are as good. I'll stick my neck out and say it. He's talked about like the second coming, but like he's invented football, and because of a new style. But when is it? He's had great teams. He's had brilliant teams.
That's
He's had
true.
loads
That's
of.
true. Definitely.
I just think people go out, they fawn over him like he's some sort of god. He walks on water. But as I said, he had one of the greatest football teams at Barcelona, and Bayern Munich didn't win the Champions League, but he won the league, didn't he? Manchester City. He's probably had about 5 billion, even though officially they've only spent 1 billion. Right? He's had so much money, and so he's no doubt he's a good motivator, and he was a great footballer, by the way. So he knows his stuff, but he doesn't. He's not invented a new game. I just think.
No, for sure. But you know what I'm trying to say. I don't think he motivates the players as someone with more tenure would. It's just a fact. He needs experience, and I don't think he has.
So here's a scenario then. Why doesn't Pep go to a lower league team and motivate them and see what the result is for that?
Bournemouth. Let's see if he can win the league with Bournemouth. Then we'll find out.
He might just do it. No, no. But I remember even Tony Adams said that he would speak to the players.
Yeah.
Not leave it for George Graham to talk to the players. He would motivate and talk to the players. So I'm thinking, rather than having someone who's not a player motivate the players, why can't we have leaders in the team motivating each and every one?
Yeah, we ain't got any, have we, Alex? I mean,
we don't, and that's the issue. And we do need a couple of players. Maybe that they are not the best. For example, instead of getting a Havertz, someone with a very strong character that can do exactly the same job that he's needed just there.
Yeah. Declan Rice.
Xhaka was good at that, wasn't he? Oh, Declan would be really good.
Yeah, I reckon Xhaka would have been really good. See me, mate, great, and Declan, but maybe it's a generational thing. You look at the Arsenal team. As Alex said, Tony Adams, or that England team. I'm going to go back a long time. Euro '96. Paul Ince, Stuart Pearce, Tony Adams, Alan Shearer. I mean, we had about 7 captains in the team. We just want one. We just want one.
Yeah. And like you can feel, like I can feel it. I'm not in the dressing room, but when we're losing or when we're drawing, I feel that they go in and everyone stays quiet, just listening to.
Bring back Thierry Henry. Bring back Thierry Henry.
That's so you can meet him. No.
That's right. That's why.
He was assistant coach for Belgium, and he didn't do great.
No, we know that.
Maybe they should go out. They should restart the Tuesday Club and go out for a drink together.
Yes.
I was doing it. Right, let's go through this last few comments. Let's have a look here. I saw one. There was a question for Lee from John, I think. Well, it wasn't a question, it was more of a statement. Lee, I think some of these agents are too connected to their mates, i.e. David Dean's son was on an agent, and I think decisions are made for the good of their own pockets.
Yeah,
Money
maybe.
talks. We were promised to compete with the very best,
Well,
and I recognize this person. Glenwyn says, good evening, Alex. What a debut for Seema. Hey, nice one, Seema.
yeah, very
Thank
good.
you. Thank
Brilliant.
you.
Also, hello to the other guests. Thank you for that. Years ago, players wasn't allowed to ride on the motorcycles. Yeah, that's a good point as well. I meant that Saka, who has been taking a beating. He must develop beating his opponents. Yeah, not beating. Yeah, opponents on the right foot. And who is cover for Saka, Alfie?
Reece.
Yeah,
it's a good cover.
Yeah,
I think. Yeah, he is.
He's got to get him on the pitch.
Exactly. Keep him on the pitch. Keep him on the pitch. Okay, just got one here from Thomas Jr. 17 says, hello, Thomas Jr. from Uganda. Also signing Benzema. No, we're not signing Benzema.
No.
This story for 20 years. It's enough. I know that I look young. I'm not young, and I've been listening this all my life.
We tried to sign him about 7 years ago, didn't we, Alex?
Yeah. He just can't find his way to the Emirates. He keeps getting lost. That's what it is.
He keeps getting lost,
It's enough.
Do you know what, people? We have come to an end on It's Easy Talk. Inside an hour. Seema, what a debut. What a debut.
Thank you. Thank you.
Brilliant.
Thank you for having me. Lovely guys.
Brilliant.
Thank you.
Really good.
Fantastic. Lee, also good to have you back. I know we had a bit of a full start last week, Friday, but good to see you back, fella. Thank you.
Thanks for asking me. I really appreciate it. And nice to meet you, Seema, as well for the first time.
Yeah. Are you a season ticket holder, Lee?
No, I've never had a season ticket ever. Despite going all these years, I've always managed just to. Well, you just turned up back in the day.
Yeah.
So many people who go. I'm generally pretty lucky. I don't have to go, but I generally pick them up from people. But I need one for Liverpool. If anyone out there,
Seema.
I don't want to go to games anymore. Every time that I go, they draw or they lose. Yes.
I didn't want to say that, but yeah,
so
it's true.
I don't want to
but you were there. No, you were there for the FA Cup game. That's why, because you know, I mean, Champions League, Premiership. He kind of like threw that game.
Last year,
we were on top.
Listen, last year, I went to Bournemouth and I saw Walcott scoring.
Yeah,
not good. And I went to the FA Cup and I saw Luis Diaz scoring. And I love Luis Diaz, but he broke my heart.
Do you want to know the story? I went to the FA Cup final at Wembley when we played City, right? We lost, okay? And I didn't realise where I was sitting. I was sitting where they come and pick up the cup when they walk up the stairs. So I'd seen, I'd looked over and I missed the entire Arsenal team and I saw the City team come up. I missed every single Arsenal player because I hadn't even realized, I hadn't clocked where I was. And I was like, I'm so stupid. Oh, well. That's the story to remember, though.
Anyway, thank you to my guest for this latest segment of the Easy Talk. I will be back, however, tomorrow morning, give you some more transfer news. No news is good news. But anyway, Seema, Lee, and of course, a cheeky chappy Alfie, thank you for coming on the Easy Talk and have a great evening. But anyhow,
guys.
Cheers, everyone. Have a good one. Bye now. Bye.
Take care.
Bye.
Take care, guys.